Among their Titanic artefacts is a telegram received by the sister ship, the Olympic, just a day after the tragedy.
Received Marconi from Carpathia as follows. Turn back, now, everything okay. We have 800 aboard. This is the original Marconigram, 16th of April, 1912.
So from another ship having picked up survivors.
Yeah.
It's like the Antique Roadshow, isn't it?
A passion for the story of the Titanic led father and son into the studio, where they wrote their Requiem. Each of the 15 tracks covers a different stage of the ship's final journey. Some people may not know what a Requiem is. Could you explain?
It's a kind of mass. Some people have their own version of that mass. The mass is the same, but it could take on different music. It will take on different music. Haydn had his a mass.
Brahms.
Mozart, Brahms, as you say.
Having composed their Requiem, Robin and RJ went into the studio last year for a series of recording sessions with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. Had you worked together before?
We've collaborated on things, but never an album.
So how do you work together? How does that dynamic work when you're putting stuff down?
We work like clockwork.
Yeah, and we
all on the
agree
same
to
page.
disagree.
Literally painting the emotions through music. Yeah. Is it different to writing a pop song? Is there a different process?
No, there's only 8 notes you can work with. Difference is getting them in the right order. And not everybody does, otherwise everyone would be having a successful composing career. The difference is if you've got a knack of knowing something, Jay, I discovered very on, had it. You just know when you hear something that it works.
We write to the melody.
You're writing a pop song, you write with melody first. Even when you're using orchestra, you put the melody down. With the orchestra, you put the orchestra down before you do the vocal.
Guys, describe the feeling to me the first time you heard the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra strike up your writing.
To hear it come to fruition, I mean, it was a beautiful moment.
When it comes to life.
Sweep away all pain and sorrow. Don't cry alone.
One of the most contemporary sounding pieces of music is Don't Cry Alone, which you did the vocal for.
Well, it's spontaneous. It's just put the mic on, play the chords, and I'll just sing to what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way, we've always composed.
I mean, we do want people to remember that this isn't just striving to be a beautiful piece of work. It is a remembrance for the 1,517 people who died on the Titanic.
And a huge thank you to Robin and RJ again for making that film for us, and all our thoughts are with the Gibb family at this very difficult time.
Yeah, and you were saying, Nikki, you actually visited Robin's house, didn't you, during a Radio 1 special many years ago?
That's right. I mean, he's a wonderful man, Robin, and the 3 brothers have such a great bond.
Yeah.
And I remember this was one of the greatest privileges I ever had to go over there to Miami Beach and do a special on them back in the Radio 1 days. And they, remember, they live right on the shoreline, and all these boats went past, and you could hear the boats going, "And on your right is where the Bee Gees live." And all the brothers on cue ran out onto the veranda and went,
Oh, brilliant.
like that, yeah, because they really care about their fans,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they never lost that, you know.
Yeah. Well, talking of families, your latest series, Long Lost Families, is back. Why do you think it struck such a chord with viewers last time round?
Well, with Davina Thursday night, it just resonates with people because it's about longing, it's about family,
Yeah.
and it's just about love as well. I mean, some of the stories that the people we've reunited, just astonishing stories. We watched the first episode the other night, me and my wife. She's still in recovery from it.
Well, we watched it earlier, didn't we, some of it, and I mean, you meet some incredible people who have remarkable stories. What have been some of the highlights then, maybe?
Well, I think we've done quite a lot of mums from mother and baby homes in the 60s when attitudes were very different and values were very different and society was very different. And to say to a mum, to have a mum in front of you, you know, talk about the smell of her baby, you know, and something that she's never forgotten, because, you know, the smell is such a powerful time machine, isn't it? And she just shut her eyes. I remember one mum at one moment, and she was just back there with her baby. And then, after that, you know, decades of anguish, to be able to say, you know, we found him, and he wants to meet you, and here is his photograph, is just one of the greatest. To be there at that life moment is extraordinary.
Absolutely. Well, here we can see Fabia, one of the ladies in the first episode, and she's reading a letter she's had from her son Mark. That's right. The first correspondence that's been between them. It's very emotional. Here it is.
Dear Fabia, this has not been an easy letter to write. The emotions are truly overwhelming, and it is hard to contain my excitement at the possibility of finally meeting the person who gave me life. And hopefully start putting the pieces back together. Until then, I remain sincerely yours, Mark.
Well, Nikki, last time you were on, you told us that you'd met up with your birth mum and dad. You understand exactly, you know, what feelings these people are going through. Do you feel like you are intruding a little bit sometimes with the cameras and all of that there?
Well, they do it. There's such a wonderful team who do it.
Yeah.
And they do it with such a sense of respect as well. And obviously, these people are self-selecting. They want to do this, and the structure is really, you know, their hands are held all along, and the structure is actually really reassuring and really comforting for them. And everyone at the end of it is in a better place because questions are answered. And I know when I met my birth mother, it was just the most terrifying moment of my life. You know, it's a stranger who looks like me. You know, it's the most powerful thing, and I didn't have any help. And I was kind of all alone, and it was difficult. And I think providing that help has really been great for people.
I think Phoebe sums it up brilliantly, doesn't she? She said, I'm looking at a stranger, but I feel like I've known him all my life.
And their meeting is just beautiful. It's so uplifting. He's Mark's former professional rugby player. He's a rugby coach at my old school. So what's great about Mark is, you know, he's a strong guy, tough man, but just underneath, we're all just little babies at heart, aren't we?
It's a very powerful series. Long Lost Family begins tomorrow night at 9 p.m. on ITV1.
Now, as Nikki knows, the radio phone-in is a British institution which allows anyone with an opinion and a phone the chance to have their 5 minutes of fame on the nation's airwaves.
But where did the phone-in come from? And would the One Show's Alex Riley be able to host one with no training? Well, caller, you're on the air.
In tonight's programme, we